Hello, my name is Sasha Pereskokova, and I am a psychology undergraduate student studying at Colorado State University. Today I am completing my deep dive project for my psychopathology course, and today I will be discussing bipolar disorders, brain differences in those with bipolar disorders, and impacts on children if gone undiagnosed. First, let's discuss and get an overview of what bipolar disorder is. Bipolar disorder is a mental health condition characterized by extreme mood swings and affects millions worldwide. At the present, the DSM categorizes bipolar disorder into four main types: bipolar 1, bipolar 2, cyclothymic disorder, and other specified and unspecified bipolar and related disorders. Today, I won't go into the details for every single subtype, but I will touch on the hallmark aspects of bipolar disorders. Hence the name, bipolar disorder is marked with the presence of depressive, manic, or hypomanic states. Individuals can find themselves in the depths of depression, with common symptoms including persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness. These depressive episodes can be debilitating, robbing individuals of their energy and motivation. Simple tasks may feel insurmountable, and interests once cherished may lose their allure. Conversely, manic episodes characterize the other end of the spectrum. During these periods, individuals may experience heightened energy levels, euphoria, and inflated self-confidence. While mania may initially feel exhilarating and even attractive, it can have profound consequences. Disrupted sleep patterns and impaired judgment, thereby leading to actions that can be regrettable or even dangerous, can occur. It's crucial to recognize that even though mania can be marked by the abundance of positive emotions, it can still pose a great risk to the person and can be detrimental to their well-being. Disrupted routines, strained relationships, and distorted perceptions of reality can profoundly impact one's well-being, especially as these states are cyclical. Additionally, it's important to note that those living with bipolar disorders may not always be in a state of mania or depression. There can also be periods in which there are little amounts of symptoms from either extreme. Now that we have a description of this disorder, I want to take a look at how it actually affects people, specifically minors who experience early onset bipolar disorder. In our course taught by Dr. Garvey, I don't see too much information on how bipolar disorder affects this demographic, so I will talk about this today. Additionally, we were not able to dive into the biological brain differences with those living with bipolar disorder in class, so I'm also going to touch on that today, as well as highlight the importance of early diagnosis. Firstly, it is important to examine one of the most dominant theoretical approaches of examining bipolar disorder, which is the neurobiological approach. There could be biological and environmental factors that can cause the manifestation of symptoms, as seen on this chart right here. Next, let's examine genetics. With children, research suggests that there is a strong link between early onset bipolar disorder and genetics, meaning it's important for parents, teachers, and clinicians to keep in mind when working with younger demographics. Additionally, there have been several brain structural and neurotransmittal differences noticed in those with bipolar disorder. In a study made in 2007, Gokte et al. Performed a study in which individuals' brain biology with early onset bipolar disorder were examined before and after the onset of the first manic episode. It was noted that the gray matter that is partly responsible for neural pathways growth was asymmetrical compared to each side of the brain. This impacted individuals' abilities with motor inhibition, abstract problem solving, and working memory within the context of a manic episode. Additionally, there has been evidence that there is an enlargement of the lateral ventricle, which plays a role in producing the substance that protects the brain and spinal cord from injury. It should be noted, however, that the use of brain imaging should not solely be used to diagnose. Not to mention that brain imaging can be expensive procedures, but also some of these abnormalities that have been seen in bipolar brains can also be seen in children without the disorder. Therefore, these structural difference patterns seen with those with early onset bipolar disorder are correlational and should only be used as additional evidence to support a diagnosis rather than using that to solely diagnose a patient. Regarding diagnosis, most individuals have a 7 to 9 year difference in first onset of symptoms until diagnosis. During this period, several things could be occurring that could be delaying the diagnosis. Firstly, the patient may not be old enough to express their emotional state and therefore seek help on their own. For example, if it's a young child who is just feeling these symptoms for the first time, they may not be able to explain fully what's going on, and caregivers may not have the training or knowledge to help them. Secondly, if the child is able to get clinical help, usually about 3.5 other diagnoses are considered before bipolar disorder, despite little change in symptom in the patient. This is an area of concern due to the negative effects of bipolar disorder being exacerbated the longer one goes without treatment. Post 1992 has developed a model of sensitization. Post is the name of the scientist. He noticed that depression and mania episodes are often activated due to external stimuli. That is often how one is diagnosed. Those episodes can be triggered by some sort of environmental stress. However, if the disorder is left unchecked and the person goes without treatment for a long time, then the episodes can occur on their own due to internal activity, therefore showing an increase in episodes and even in severity. Additionally, it is also crucial to diagnose, as those with bipolar disorder are found to be 2.5 times more likely to die by suicide. The use of certain psychiatric medicines, such as lithium, have been found to be of help during times of extreme mood destabilization, therefore additionally strengthening the argument to diagnose early in order to help buffer the most severe aspects of the illness. However, with additional factors of childhood sexual and physical abuse, aging, history of familial suicide attempts, comorbidity for panic disorders, meaning that the patient is also diagnosed with a panic disorder, and more reports of aggressive or impulsive behavior can further play into the severity of suicidal ideation among those with bipolar disorder. Therefore, it is important for teachers, parents, and clinicians to be aware of the symptoms of bipolar disorder among children, especially as the disorder can be so detrimental socially, academically, health-wise for those with the illness.